The Impractical Optimist. So lately I've been getting a lot of these questions about what exactly is the Impractical Optimist, what's the deal behind it, why this tagline, the Impractical Optimist. Funny thing, when I tell it about to my friends, they're like smirking, looking at each other, rolling their eyes, as if it were just another cliche tagline for another motivation, inspirational videos. To which I say, what's the harm in that? What's wrong in a little inspiration? If you're not inspired for something in your life, what are you? The best and the proudest moments of your life are when you were really inspired to do something, that belief in you to do something about it, to achieve something that came from some inspiration or the other. Why is it a big deal? Why has it become a laughing stock for people? Why is inspiration subject to a matter of laughter? But the most important question is, where is it now? And why is it dying? Coming up, the Impractical Optimist. I once knew a boy who was awestruck by the beauty of the mountain he saw from the porch of his house. Every night he would sit at the doorstep and gaze in amazement to the little light he saw over the top of that mountain. The curious little boy had a dream to climb up to the top of that hill and discover what was it. He asked about to his grandfather, who said there resides an old lady on the top of that mountain with her cattle. He asked around his friends, and each one had a different story to tell. Some said there was this man who lived with his dog. Some said it was the cursed fire goddess who was trapped there till eternity. And some even said it was lit by a haunted evil. But nobody had ever dared to find out where the light came from, because they were all forbidden. The boy wanted to explore and know the real story about it, but everybody he talked to only discouraged him. He kept seeing that light daily during his evenings and sometimes throughout the night. The boy gradually became a man, and over the years the light on the top of that mountain kept shining. As life moved on, he forgot about the light. He got married, had kids, and one fine day his son asked him about the light on the top of the mountain. He glanced up and realized it was just another light that nobody ever bothered to know about. He told the same story which his grandfather told him, the old lady with the cattle. And his son said, "One day I'm going to climb that mountain and meet her." He saw his own little self in his son, the optimism that sparked in his eyes compared to his own. The layers of dust had engulfed his own shine. He was just another practical, unenthusiastic man who now, they say, became wiser. The dream was gone, and we live in a world where we allow our optimism to be ruled by our surroundings. If only the world around us was so better, you wouldn't have needed to keep yourself uptight. You kill your dreams because others kill theirs, and they tell you it is okay. You're told that it's okay to sacrifice the beauty of the difference to fit in a mold they all are in. One size fits all. The irony about this is that life is never one size fits all. It is always custom made for you. We live in a world where getting a degree, having a job, a family, and one day having to die is okay. But climbing that mountain where nobody has ever ventured is not. I can talk about myself, and I can tell you, being optimistic is my drug. It gives me that high. It gives me the strength to allow myself the breathing space I need. It keeps reminding me that things might not be as they should be, but the only way they ever will be how they ought to be is by being in this very frame of mind. It gives the room for my desires to dream about coming true. And I can tell you there's no virtue in choking the life out of your desires if things outside become hard. It is so easy to be surrounded by people who will tell you to give up on what you want. You know why? Because that gives you a tangible support to lean on when you fail. You start becoming comfortable in the idea of failure. You compromise, and slowly you convince yourself that giving up on your dreams wasn't failure. It was wisdom. Look around you. The world that is telling you it is okay to not live in a life you desire is a world full of failures. It is a world where people have opted for different paths because they found a roadblock in their own. While you find comfort in the idea of failure, it starts pinching you when you see somebody else clearing their roadblocks, and you start getting uncomfortable seeing it because you know at some point in your life you were that same guy doing the exact same thing, but you quit. You walk up to them, you tell them it is okay to leave the difficulties and take the highway because it will be less painful and more convenient. And if you just happen to make him comfortable with that idea, you would have killed another soul just like you killed yours. We live in a world where you would ask people how many of them wanted to go back and change something in their lives, and everybody would raise their hands. But when it is really about making a choice to be that change, they conform for mediocrity, saying it isn't practical because it hasn't been done before. Let me tell you, practicality is not the same as being uncomfortable. You know what practicality is? The one man who didn't listen to you and made his way through to the mountaintop. He just made it practical. That one person who looked at the moon one day and thought we could step up there. That made it practical. Roger Bannister, the first person to run a mile within 4 minutes, and he made it practical for the hundreds to do it after him. Do not confuse being practical with the feeling of discomfort. There are just too many of them killing their own dreams under the garb of practicality. The odds of you being born in this particular moment in time are 400 trillion to 1. 400 trillion to 1. You defy practicality. You have it in your blood. So don't talk shit about why something isn't achievable because society molded you into a system where you have to act and live a certain way. You've got to keep reminding yourself that the definition of practicality is not you not being able to achieve something. And if it has come to this, then you must, and I quote, you must be impractical. Being the Impractical Optimist is not just a catchy brand name. It is a conscious effort to keep reminding myself about the first step that I took when my legs weren't used to it. It is the reminder of all those times when people laughed at my dreams and then quoted me as an example when I did it. It is a reminder of all those times I failed yet shrugged myself off, got back up and gave it one more try. As long as you are willing to give it one more shot, you defy practicality. Impractical optimism is a way of life, and it is a wake-up call to be different, not for the heck of it, but because there is no light in being the same as they all are. Shine with the light within you and inspire others to do the same, and thou shalt see the entire world will glow with vibrant lights that you might see something amazing out of it. You don't have to be a victim of confirmation. You are your own light. You have something so beautiful to offer. If you can't do it for the world, do it for yourself. You deserve it. That is being the Impractical Optimist. The choice is yours.